Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by. If this video makes it to your FYP, please do not scroll. Kindly subscribe, share and like my video. Also put on your notification bell to be notified anytime I upload new video. So now in today's video, we're going to be learning how to go about this outfit that just popped up. So let's get started. So I used 2 yards of fabric for this and I added zip to mine, so you can just do what you want. You can do yours without adding zip. So now from the starting point line, I'll go ahead to take my full gown length measurement, and the measurement I used for mine was 54. I added extra inch for folding. So now from this starting point line, I'll go ahead to divide my shoulder measurement by 2 and minus 1 inch from it, since I'm not going to be adding sleeves. So for the width of my neck, I'll be using 3 inch. And now for my back there, so I'll be using 1 inch for the back. For the front, I'll be using 9 because I want it to be very open. Okay. Now the front neckline is going to be in form of a V shape, and I'll go ahead to connect it this way. Okay, so moving forward, this is me showing you this is the front and the back neckline. Now I'm going to do a shoulder slope of 1 inch, and then from that 1 inch I'll go ahead to take my armhole measurement, and mine gave me 7.5. I'll go ahead to mark it and connect it. And so to get your accurate armhole measurement, just divide your round bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 to it. Okay, so now from that shoulder slope, I'll go ahead to divide my armhole into 2 to get the midpoint, and I'll go ahead to mark it. On that point I marked, I'll go in by 0.5. You can do 0.75 if you want. This is just for armhole tightening. Now I'll divide my round bust measurement by 4, and I'll go ahead to mark it. And I'll be adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance to it. And then I'll go ahead to create my armhole curve. So from the starting point line, I'll go ahead to mark my bust point, which is 10, my shoulder to bust point, my shoulder to my waist, which is 15, and then my shoulder to my hip, and I used 24 for that. So from that bust point, I'll be going down by 2 inch, and I'll go ahead to mark it. And on that part I marked, I'll divide my nipple to nipple measurement by 2 and mark it. Now from my waistline, I'll be going down by 2 inch also, and I'll go ahead to mark it. And also divide my nipple to nipple measurement by 2 and connect it this way. So now go ahead to divide my round waist measurement by 4, and I added 3 inch sewing allowance. And on my hip line, I divided it by 4 and I also added 3 inch sewing allowance to it. Now go ahead to connect it from the chest line down to the hip line this way. So this gown is in form of an A-line gown. So I'm going to be taking my hip measurement, including the sewing allowance. I'm going to be marking it on the full length down here, and I'll go ahead to add extra 3 inch sewing allowance to it this way. And now from the hip line, I'll go ahead to connect it down in this form. So before we go ahead to cut out the full gown, we're firstly going to be cutting out this part here where we're going to be inserting the corset loop. And just the way you see me doing this video, this is how you go ahead to cut it, and just insert your scissors and then trace it out this way. So now I'll cut out the neckline and also cut out every other part of the dress. So yeah, basically this is what we have. So now we're going to go into the sewing part straight. So now I cut out the interfacing for both the front and the back. Please ignore that this interfacing is small. Please, yours should be wider than this. So now go ahead to sew the interfacing from the right side and turn it over to the wrong side. So now for this strap I'm going to be using for the rope channel, and it's measuring 1.5. Now I'll go ahead to fold it. First I'll fold it this way, fold it again, and further fold it this form, and I'll go ahead to top stitch it. Okay, so yeah, I'm done sewing the neckline, and like I said earlier, ensure that your interfacing is a bit wider than mine. So yeah, I also stitched the rope channel, and then for each rope channel I'll be using 2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead to cut out 2 inch like this till I get the numbers I want. Now that point where we cut out for the channels, we're going to go ahead to mark out the number of channels you want to create for both the front and the back. Now I'm going to fold it into this way, and I'll place it, and I'll go ahead to turn it this way and use my pin to hold it, and I'll be repeating the same thing. Okay, so now the same process I am doing here is the same thing I'm going to be doing on the other side of the front and also for the back part. Now you're pinning it down so that when you come to sewing it, it's not going to be difficult for you to do, and then again it will be well relaxed. Okay, so the next thing for you to do is just take it to the sewing machine and stitch it this way, and that's what's exactly what I'll be doing. And when you open it up, this is what you have. Now I'm going to be repeating the same thing on the other side of the front and the back as well. So now moving forward, this is what it is looking like after I am done stitching it and then showing you the inside. You go ahead to press it down very well with iron so that it is very relaxed, and also do the same thing for the back part. Now I'm going to be joining the back part together this way, and I'll go ahead to measure out my zip allowance. So basically I'm just going to measure the length where I want my zip to stop, and then I use 17. So from that 17 I'm just going to be marking like 0.5 inch. Since it's a free gown, I'm going to be top stitching it there, and also I'll add my zip to it. So this is what the gown is looking like, coming together and looking fine. So moving forward, we're going to go ahead to shape it. Now you don't need any measurements here. The only part you need measurements is just the armhole. Now you're going to go ahead to measure around your armhole how free you want it to be. So for me, I'm going to be using 9, and on that 9 I'm just going to curve it out towards the waistline this way, and I'm going to stitch. Okay, so while I was done shaping it, I also turned the armhole with a bias tape, just the way I am showing you this way, and I also added this transparent inner top to it. And lastly, for this part, you're going to be lacing it the way you lace your corset from the front to the back, and basically that's it. Thanks for watching.